What's going on, guys? Ooh, did you hear that delay? Today, we're going to learn Hunter's Moon by Ghost. Ghost put this new tune out last Thursday. I haven't stopped listening to it since. It has gone straight to the top of my on repeat for Spotify, and I had to learn it on guitar. So this is my take on how to play Hunter's Moon by Ghost. And I've written some tabs, which you can take if you screenshot right now. See that? Look at all those tabs. I did that all in Zoom. Who needs Sibelius? But since I do want to use Sibelius, and since I did just give you tabs, if you guys do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up, that would be awesome. And then maybe one day I'll get Sibelius, and then you guys will get nicer tabs in return. Wouldn't that be sweet? Let's not hear me talk, because you can do that in any of the What Songs Probably Sound Like. You can hear me talk there. Let's play some guitar. So Hunter's Moon, like most Ghost songs, is tuned down a whole step. Although I will say, the bass has a low C note in the bridge. So this is strictly a guitar lesson because I learned it in D standard. What you're gonna wanna do, if you're not already, you wanna tune your guitar as follows. So you wanna have D, G, C, F, A, and D. That is D standard. The best tuning. Cool. So let's start with the verse. So one of the great things about Hunter's Moon is that super 80s clean guitar. Really simple. If you've ever played Ain't Talking About Love by Van Halen, it's a similar concept where you're basically playing around with this A minor chord and just adding different notes to it and taking away notes. So this is what it goes like. And then you can add that A if you want in there. I do. It's kind of a tongue twister. So let's walk through it slowly. So we're starting with this A minor shape that we all know and love, but we got to skip that D string. So we're gonna start with open A or open G because we're down a whole step. Remember. Then we're gonna play 2 on the G string. We're hitting 1 on the B string, but then we're going to lift our pointer finger to get that open B, that 9th chord that everybody loves. At least I love it, and I think everybody loves it. And then we go to open E, put our pinky on 3 on the E string, and then because I did it so slow, I forgot what it went like. Oh, we put our pointer finger back on 1 on the B string, and then we play 2 on G. So that whole first part is. Now we have an F chord, so we're gonna bar with our pointer finger 1 on E and B, that dreaded F chord. And we're gonna take our middle finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the G string, and ring finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. It's an F chord. Everybody's worst enemy. And we're gonna just pick it down. How I'm doing that, if you see, is I'm gonna do a downstroke for all of these. Now we're going to go to what I personally think is the hardest part of the song, but it's also what I personally think the coolest part of the song is. So we do this riff twice, and the third time, after we come out of the A minor, we're starting this whole pre-chorus, which brings us through all these different keys, and we're messing around with like borrowed chords and modes and music theory. There's a lot of music theory involved in this pre-chorus, and it's a lot of fun. And how we get there is by making this chord, which I don't actually know what it's called. But it sounds like Yes or Asia or Steve Howe. So we're gonna bar just like we did for F. We're gonna bar our 3rd finger, or we're gonna bar the 3rd fret with our 1st finger on E and B, and then we're gonna have our pinky on 5 on G, we're going to put our ring finger on 5 on D, and I'll show you why, because we're going to go up and play, you know, the 2 3rd frets, and then we're going to play 5 on B. I'm sorry, 5 on G. Then we play this 3 on the E string twice, and then we play 3 on B, and then we're going to go to 2 with our second finger, which is the middle finger. We're going to go to 4 on the G string. So that whole part goes. You can keep your middle finger pressed down there. I don't. And that segues us into the pre-chord. We have our D sus4 chord to a D chord. So basically just make a D chord and drop that pinky on the 3rd fret. And then, just like everything, we've been picking from the E string down. So I'm going to go E, B, G. Then I go back and make a D chord. Now here, I break the pattern and I just hit open E and I play 3 on the B string. So it's that first chunk of this pre-chorus is. And then we have these cool, like, triads. Open A, 7 on the D string, then we're going to bar 5 on G and E, and we get an A minor. I'm sorry, G and B, no Z. So we got F chord. We're walking up the F chord, kind of like how we walked up that A minor triad. So it's a... Now we're gonna make this chord again, but we're gonna bar all the strings so we can get that low G in there, which I don't know if that's in the song, but it sounds cool, and I'm gonna put it in the song. And we're playing it up, so we're gonna skip over the A string and hit this low G or low F, and then we're gonna play 5 on D, 5 on G, 3 on B, 3 on E, and then come back down. And then when we go back up again, we replace the 5th fret of the G with the 4th fret of G. So we gotta keep that middle finger there. So that whole part's gonna go. So let's recap. Got our D chords, A triad, F, G bar chord. Now here's where the cool part comes in, because we switch this. It starts the same, it's at D sus4, but it's super sus because we go to a minor. So D minor, basically you take this note and you lower it a whole or a half step. So we have this like inverse triangle, but it's the same pattern. We end with that open E to 3 on B. We have this really cool shape down here. We're gonna put our pointer finger on the 1st fret of E and B, kind of like what we did for the F chord. Then I'm gonna take my pinky and place it on the 3rd fret of G and my ring finger on the 3rd fret of D, and very similar pattern. E, B, G, E, E, B, G, D. So we go from here. And then we end on a 2, because now we're going to Hunter's Moon. We're going to that cool chorus riff. So this pre-chorus, if I can remember it, because it is a lot, is going to go like this. And now we get to have a lot of fun. There's 2 parts here. I call it the chorus riff and the chorus lead, and there's a harmony at the end that we're gonna learn. Let's start with the riff. Actually, as I've been learning this, I kind of think this part's more fun to play. So, when 3, when he goes, it's a Hunters, we hit this G power chord twice. You want to palm mute that? So it's a Hunters, and then Moon comes in on the downbeat. By the way, the chorus is in 3/4, so it's like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or you can count in a measure of 4 and a measure of 5. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever floats your boat. You want to count in a measure of 5 and then a measure of 4? Be my guest. I count it in 3 measures of 3. So we got it's a Hunter's Moon. Not terribly hard. If you can play Crazy Train, you can play this. There's 3 parts of this riff that's in 3. See that? So the first one is just sliding these power chords together. So 3, 5, 3, 5. Simple. Then this is where Crazy Train comes in. If you can play. Same hand positions. We're gonna put our pointer finger 5 on the low E. Ring finger to 7 on A. Back to 5 on E. Pinky to 8 on A. Back to that 5 on E. So you can think of it as section 1 is 1 count. Section 2 is 1 measure. And then we have this part, which is, I don't know, it's a chord shape. You're putting your middle finger on 8 on the B string, pointer finger on D on the, sorry, the note is D, but it's the 7th fret of, actually technically it's not, it's C, but 7th fret of the G string. And then I put my pinky on the 10th fret of the D string, and we're gonna play 8, 7, 10, 8, 8, 7, and then the last time we put our ring finger on 9, so that phrase goes. This is the same thing as this. Just when I've been playing through this song, I think it's easier to go to this position than jump back here. For whatever reason, my left hand doesn't like doing. I keep botching it, so this is where I play. Now let's on the chorus lead. Let's go up to 15 with our pointer finger on the high E string. We're going to hammer on to 17. And that's our first 17. We're going to play 3 more. Hammer 1, 2, 3. That's how you count it. Hammer 1, 2, 3. Remember Crazy Train? Up an octave. So pointer finger, G string, 14th fret. I think I used my pinky for both of these. But I'm going to put my pinky on 17 on B. Back to that 14 on G. Move my pinky up to 18 on B. And then I'm back there. So it's. And then I take my pinky for phrase 3 and we slide it up. So we're going 18 to 20. Hit 20 twice. And then take your middle finger, go to 17 on G, and play 17, 16. That whole phrase is gonna go. And the whole chorus lead goes. At full speed it would be something along the lines of. You can throw some nasty vibrato in there. Now at the end, the last chorus, if you will, there is a harmony over that lead part. And that goes like this. At least how I'm hearing it. Which, you know, could be totally wrong because I'm not a ghoul. But, Ghost, if you ever need an extra guitar ghoul, or a bass ghoul, or a cowbell ghoul, or just a ghoul to, you know, greet people, hit me up, I'm your guy. Same, you know, rhythm, because we're harmonizing it, but we're on the G string. We're gonna go 16 to 17. You use whatever fingers you want. I think for this particular shot, I'm gonna use my middle of my ring. 16, hammer on to 17, 3, 3. Remember, hammer 1, 2, 3. 16 to 17, 1, 2, 3. Jump down so your ring finger is on the 14th fret of the D string. 12 on G. 14 on G. Then we're gonna go from this 14 on G, slide up to 17, and then down to 16. So that whole harmony goes. Verse 2, contrary to verse 1, is very easy. Starting on an A power chord, so I play the 5th fret of the E string. And because you're a smart person, you know how you make a power chord. You go up to your next string and add 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. That's where my ring finger goes. And this first measure is all the 8th notes. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We're going to go up to the 8th fret for a C power chord. 1 and 2 and the half of that measure with the 3rd fret. 3 and 4 and then we go back to this 5th fret for a measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I forget what I called it in the tabs, but this is the Aussie Riff. That gets broken into the middle of this because after that riff, you just play that part twice again. So it's leading to the pre-chorus, but in the middle we got this Aussie riff, so it's super simple. We're gonna play the A string twice, and then we make this thing called a double stop. Why it's called a double stop is beyond me, but it's called a double stop. And you want to play the 5th fret on D and G, so we're gonna go open A, and you want to palm mute these, and we're gonna play that double stop twice. It's like reverse Live Wire, if you know that song by Motley Crue. It's reverse. That brings us to our pre-chorus. Now this pre-chorus, there's a power chord guitar going on. That whole really cool arpeggio part is still going on with the other guitar, and it's distorted now, so it sounds pretty cool. So we start on this D power chord. 5th fret of the A string for a whole measure. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to A. So 5th fret of the E string. 1, 2, up to F. 8th fret, A string. 3, 4, and then we're going to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to our D, but now it's implied that it's a minor because of what the other guitar is doing. So we have this D power chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, to a B flat power chord on the 6th fret of the E string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, on the recording, I hear a slide, so it could be, you could do that. I'll probably do that if I ever play this song live. So we got. We go to F, kind of like Ritual. So 1st fret, the E string, 1 and 2, and now we have this open E power chord that we're gonna do for a whole measure, palm muted, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. It's a hunter's moon. So that whole pre-chorus is gonna go. I'm sorry. So the whole pre-chorus is gonna go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you could hear me like chattering my teeth to keep my metronome, my click, my count. Does anybody else do that, or is that just a me thing? Am I just weird? We have this great part called the breakdown, because I don't know what else to call it. And then we go into the breakdown with the band. So basically what you're doing is, remember this from the chorus? Of course you do, you're watching this video. We're taking that and moving it down a whole step. So instead of being on 3 and 5, you're being on 1 and 3. So we go, and then same thing, moving it down a whole step. So we have the Crazy Train riff, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, and then we count 2 beats. 1, 2, palm mute the first fret twice. And we do that again, but this time we're gonna add a bendy boy in there. Now, in this one, how I hear it is he bends the 4th fret up to this 6th fret note. So you're bending it up a whole step. And then you're going to slightly bring it down. When we play it now with the band, you're going to bend that 5th fret up. I don't know. I hear it going through both of those notes versus when the whole band is coming because it's quicker and there's more stuff going on. It's just a quick bend. So basically the breakdown, the only difference is this note. Let me play them both for you. That was not a good one. Let me try that again. There it is. And when you do that bend, try to be like aggressive with it. I'm just jamming it with my middle finger. My pointer finger's not touching. That's literally just my middle finger and my thumb clawing at the string. But there's nothing wrong with using multiple fingers to bend. Actually, I recommend you do it. Because as you just heard, I got a way more aggressive bend with a lot less tension on my fingers and wrists. The breakdown with the band is... you're just going to bend that 5th fret up. You can bend the 4th if you wanted to. But yeah, that's your breakdown riff. It's a really fun riff to play. A lot of the riffs in this song are a lot of fun to play. Cool. Let's learn the solo. All right, so if you look at your tabs that I left you at the beginning, but I'll throw them up here again because I'm so nice, you'll see that in the solo, there's a couple notes that are marked red. And that is because they are played by a second guitar in the recording. So you can play the whole solo as one guitar. Well, okay, that part leading up to the bridge is kind of tricky. Or I should say it's kind of tricky to play as one guitar. But, you know, for the most part, you can play the whole thing as one guitar. So let's dive into it. First thing we have is this little run in D minor. By the way, this part is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the last measure is 4, actually. 7th fret of the G string with your ring finger. And then we're going to go to 5 on D with your pointer. And grab that pinky, go to 8 on D, and then 7 on D with your ring. Then we're going to take that pinky down to the A string and go 8, 5, 8, 5, and then take that pinky back to 8 and slide up to 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and then this note that resolves that whole lick lands on 1 of the next beat. So your first measure is... This is where the second guitar would come in, but you can definitely do this. You're just going to slide up to 12 and then hit 10. And then we just make a power chord out of that. 12 back to 10. It's not in the tabs, but now I'm hearing there's a second 10 in there because I'm listening to the song. So I'm trying to remember how to play along in 5. So that next 10 is 1, and then you slide up to 15 and 14 on D. And then your second guitar is going to bend this 8 up on the G string. It's going to come down a little bit when you make that jump to 5 on G. And you go up to 7. So we got... And then this is the beginning of the bridge, so we're back in 4. And both guitars do something different here. So the guitar, the main solo, you're going to slide from this note. You're going to kind of slide to nowhere, which is basically we start with motion on our finger with the open string, and we slide up to 10. And then we hit 10 right underneath it. So that last phrase of the solo, going into the first measure of the bridge, is going to go like... And then you harmonize that up here with your second guitar part, going 17, 16. So it's sort of like... And it sounds very happy and pleasing at the end. So let's just do that whole solo slowly. And then we'll go to the bridge from there. Guitar 1, the guitar 2's ending. You could also do it there if you wanted to, which I guess would be more practical if you're going to do it as one guitar. So we just came out of this. 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and... So there is a low C in this song. I only hear it in the bass. You can play the song in D standard on guitar. But what you can do as a little trick is when we go back to this D power chord, we're going to bar the low E and the A string. So we're basically getting the 5th below the root. Like this huge power chord. If you really wanted to, you could add that pinky finger to the G string and get it. They sound massive. Check it out on your own time. We're learning Hunter's Moon right now. We're going to go up here, and we're going to play a double stop. It turns to a major third. So put your middle finger on the 12th fret of D and your ring finger on the 12th fret of G. But have that pointer ready to go on 11 because you're going to go. And then we're going to go to the power chord on the 3rd fret, down to the 3rd fret on A to 3rd fret on E. And then that big power chord I just told you about. So then from there, from that big power chord, we're jumping up here. We play this double stop twice to 11, and then we go 12, 11. So that whole thing so far is... And then we're moving the double stop down, so we go to the 10th fret. So your 2 fingers are on the 10th fret. And then we put that pointer finger on 9. Then we have 3 on the A string. 3, 3 to 3 on A. And then 2 1st fret. Or C, C, G, G, F, F. And then we're back to our pre-chorus. Oh, whenever there's just the hunt, Hunter's Moon, just mute that 5th fret. I'm editing this and I forgot to make an outro. So thanks. This is the outro. But seriously, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned something from this. If you did, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, subscribe. When that new album drops, I'm going to sacrifice my social life and teach you guys every single song on that album. Cool, guys. And, yeah, feel free to check out the rest of my channel. There's a bunch of ghost stuff on it. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.